What, friends, is the earth element? The earth element may be either internal or external. What is the internal earth element? Whatever internally belonging to oneself is solid, solidified, clung to. Clung to, समझ रहे ना? What you're clinging to. That is head, hairs, head hair, body hair, nails, teeth, skin, flesh, sinews, bones, bone marrow, kidneys, heart, liver, diaphragm, spleen, lungs, intestines, mesentery, contents of the stomach, feces, or whatever else internally belonging to oneself is solid and solidified and clung to. This is called the internal earth element. External, though, you already know. It doesn't have to describe external earth element. There's all earth element around you. Yeah, external earth element. Now, both the internal earth element and the external earth element are simply earth element. And that should be seen as it actually is, with proper wisdom. Thus, this is not mine. This I am not. This is not myself. When one sees it thus, as it actually is, with proper wisdom, one becomes disenchanted with the earth element and makes the mind dispassionate towards the earth element. Look at your own body. Look at your own hands. Are you dispassionate towards it? Have you developed dispassion towards the body yet? This is just earth element. That is all. And you call it I. Wake up, wake up. It's a wake up call. Every time the ego comes in and starts calling this I, wake up. Now, there comes a time when the water element is disturbed. And then the external earth element vanishes. Got it? What he's saying? Water washes away earth. When even this external earth element, great as it is seen to be impermanent, subject to destruction, disappearance and change, what of this body, which is clung to by craving and lasts but a while? There can be no considering that as I or mine or I am. A huge mountain. Yeah, that is also earth element. This little thing that I call I is also earth element. That huge mountain can get washed away by water. And I call this body I. I'm looking for permanence. Are you seeing this? Yeah? Who's looking for permanence in me? Ego. It wants permanence. It wants permanence. But is there permanence? So how do you look at I? The I. You think the I is permanent, no? Look at the thirst. The thirst is for permanence. So then, if others abuse, revile, scold, and harass a bhikkhu who has seen this element as it actually is, that bracket is very important. He understands thus this painful feeling born of ear contact. Do you understand ear contact here? Because of the words, the criticism that will come, has arisen in me. This is dependent, not independent. Dependent on what? Dependent on contact. Then he sees that contact is impermanent. That feeling is impermanent. That perception is impermanent. That formations are impermanent. And that consciousness is impermanent. Super clear? It is all impermanent. If I get affected by those words, it is just contact. So how do I wake up from this? It's impermanent. Everything is impermanent. The vijnana is impermanent. The sanya is impermanent. This vedana is impermanent. Even the sankhara, the way I'm reacting inside, it's all impermanent. Yeah? Few times you might react. Most of the times you won't react. Few times here and there will be this reaction because of the past habit. And then that will also drop away. Clear? And his mind, having made an element its objective support, enters into that new objective support and acquires confidence, steadiness, and resolution. You will only have to become confident. Nobody else can help you in that state. Now, if others attack that bhikkhu in ways that are unwished for, undesired, and disagreeable, by contact with fists, clods, sticks, or knives, he understands thus: this body is of such a nature that contact with fists, clods, sticks, and knives assail it. But this has been said by the Blessed One in his advice on the simile of the saw. Because even if bandits were to sever you savagely, limb by limb, with a two-handled saw, he who gave rise to a mind of hate towards them would not be carrying out my teaching. You get it? No hatred, even if somebody comes with a knife and cuts you into pieces. You understand the importance of being pure. He or she does not. That's it. There is no need for hatred. Will hatred arise? There's no need for hatred. There is no room for hatred when you see it like that. Because you have experienced the purity that he has not, and you've understood one little guilt in that purity is sufficient to disturb my clear, quiet mind and ruin it. The whole day you kept struggling, and you couldn't understand. Finally you remembered, oh, early in the morning I had that little guilt about this thing. Happened, no? What a little hatred, jealousy, anger, ill will, cruelty, greed for money, for name, fame, for a pat on the back. Little greed also doesn't let you rest. You understand the value of a wholesome state of mind, which this other person does not understand. How can you hate somebody who does not understand? A small child does not understand that he should not put his hand into the fire. Do you hate the child for that? No, no. Are you seeing what I'm saying? I say it's not going to happen that somebody is going to come with a gun or a knife and cut you. But he's saying even in such a state, you should not evoke hatred for this other person. So, tireless energy shall be aroused in me Underline. Tireless energy shall be aroused in me, and unremitting mindfulness established. My body shall be tranquil and untroubled, my mind concentrated and unified. Yeah? So I have to make this effort. I have to have the tireless energy. For what? For keeping my mindfulness. I have to remember all the time. Okay, once you're like that, mind is concentrated, body is tranquil, what will happen? And now, let contact with fists, claws, sticks and knives assail this body. For this teaching of the Buddhas is being practiced by me. When that bhikkhu thus recollects the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha, if equanimity supported by the wholesome does not become established in him, then he arouses a sense of urgency thus. It is a loss for me. It is no gain for me. It is bad for me. It is no good for me. That when I thus recollect the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha, equanimity supported by the wholesome does not become established in me. Yeah, matlab, if I don't do wholesome, I'm not going to be equanimous. Yes, so I have to bring up a sense of urgency. It is going to be my loss. I am the one who's going to lose from this. There is no gain in this unwholesome. I might think I'm going to get a few extra $100 or $1,000, but here I'm going to be impure and I'm going to fall down in samadhi. So if you need to lose a few $1,000s, lose them, but don't be impure. Are you getting this? When you go back out, all that is coming back. Remember that. Yeah? For a few $100, you do this. A few things you do this. I'd rather let it go. This is invaluable. Just as when a daughter-in-law sees her father-in-law, she arouses a sense of urgency to please him, so too, when that bhikkhu thus recollects the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha, if equanimity supported by the wholesome does not become established in him, then he arouses a sense of urgency. So how you have that urgency to please and, make everybody in that new family, my family, that kind of a thing, that urgency to, just be established in the Buddha and the Dhamma and the Sangha. So I have to be wholesome, I have to be wholesome. I have to protect my mind. Which means even if somebody is nasty and mean to me, I will still not generate hatred. If somebody is nasty and mean to me, I will not have ill will. Got it, no? But if when he recollects the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha, equanimity supported by the wholesome becomes established. The more wholesome you are, the more you cultivate this wholesome state in you, the deeper and quieter and absolute nothingness. That's what you become. The more wholesome you are, the more quieter it is. Little unwholesome, you lose that quietness, you come back. Little more unwholesome, you lose it totally and you're turbulent, right on the top like those horrible turbulent waves. Start from square one.